you seen this podcast? Coming from the garden aisle. Have you seen this podcast? Aldrine, Aaron, and Kauai. This is the podcast. This is the podcast with lots of aloha. Here they come from Kauai.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ukulele on the Ground podcast. My name is Aldrine Guerrero. Joining me are Mr. Aaron, the voice, Nakamura. Say what's up, Aaron, all the way there.
What's up?
And Mr. Kauai, the legend for again. Say what's up, Kauai.
What's up?
Gentlemen, we have a guest amongst our midst, a legend, if you would. A man coming out of strumming out of the shadows. Mr. Kyle Verusho, welcome.
Did you just come up with that?
Huh? Did you just come up with it? Yeah, why? Kyle Verusho, how are you, man?
I'm all right.
Long time no see.
Yeah.
Where you been, buddy?
All around the world.
Yeah, we came back. I guess it's been a few weeks, or about a month. But we were traveling. We took a vacation,
Nice.
celebrating my wife's birthday and my father-in-law's birthday.
This is the how I spent my summer vacation
Episode.
I basically just ate my way around Europe. That's what it was.
Nice, man. So where'd you go?
Went to Greece and we went to Paris. And we
Before
were
the
there-
Olympics.
Before the Olympics,
Okay.
yeah. So like we were there in June, so they were still setting things up, and so we got to kind of see like what things were gonna look like before we were there, but we didn't have to deal with like the actual like Olympic tourism.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Boom.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
That's cool. You said you ate your way around Europe. What was the best thing you ate? One thing. What's the one best thing that you
We were
ate?
just talking about something that you had that was shocking, right? That how good it was,
Dude,
compared to.
if you don't say
Oh, yeah.
your mother-in-law's blank, I feel like you'd be in trouble.
She didn't cook at all.
Okay,
the whole
okay,
time.
okay. Your father-in-law's
No,
blank.
we're just going out to eat.
Okay,
We-
good.
Yeah, we're not gonna cook when there's French cooks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got in trouble one time. It was like, oh, what's the best thing you had in California? It's like, oh, it was whatever in and out. I was like, hey, I made you food like 5 days, all 5 days that you were here, and you wouldn't
what was
just make sure to not get you in trouble, you know?
what was the best thing you had in France? My father-in-law's hot dogs, so good.
He made potato chips.
Yeah, it makes.
No, we had like it was like everything, but we went to this restaurant and they had like duck confit, but it was like I guess we didn't realize it was like a really high-end restaurant until we went in, and there were no prices anywhere. Lots of artwork,
What
very
does
nice.
MP mean?
It wasn't even that. They just had like the dish,
Yeah.
and we're like, okay. And there was only like you could pick from 3 entrees. I picked that one. It was amazing. And
If
boy,
you were
was
like,
it
hey, how much is this? They're like, get out. Get out of here.
If you have to ask, we don't
Get
think
outta
you
here.
should be here.
Get out of here.
yeah.
Nice. So duck confit and
Duck
What was
confit
your
for-
three?
Okay,
courses?
so the duck confit in Paris,
Yeah.
there was and so as far as like the high end, but then I had it was probably like the experience as a whole. I was we were sitting in like this restaurant. It turned into like a bar, and so I got to sit with a bunch of like French guys watch like this French soccer match, and I think I was the only guy who wasn't French speaking or rooting for France sitting there, and I had like fish and chips.
Yeah.
Because that's what everyone else was. Well, I mean, that's what everyone else was ordering, and so I'm like,
Okay,
I'll
okay.
have what they're having.
Yeah.
And so they brought, and it was really good. I don't know how they made it, but it was really great.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then and I guess we were in Greece for prior to Paris, and we were on this tiny island, and so it wasn't like anything fancy or anything, but it was really good. The English translation on the menu is baby goat in a pot. So if you guys don't eat meat, I apologize for this But it was like
Delicious.
it was amazing.
Favorite baby.
Yeah, you're too old.
Yeah, we.
It's a toddler goat. I can see a toddler. I know a toddler when I see one.
I think I ate that maybe like 3 times that week.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna clip just that. I think I ate that baby 3 times.
I ate that baby goat 3 times.
I'm so proud.
But so they do that and then they make it like with like French fries or like potatoes and stuff and like Greek salad and everything. But it was really just as like a avenue to get to what I assume is just like a slow roasted goat because that, I mean, I couldn't read the Greek, but baby goat in a pot. I was like, oh, and it said house special next to it.
House
I'm
special.
Like, I'm like, all right, give me that. Like,
Don't give me none of the regular food.
Yeah,
Give me the
'cause
special food.
it's all like family-owned restaurants, and they have their own recipes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'll eat the
Right
family
on.
pet.
Yeah, dude. In France, it's like it's duck or nothing. Like or just always get the duck every time. I remember going to a place when I was in Paris, and like and I remember going to this restaurant and ordering the duck, and they're like, "How do you want that cooked?" I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let the chef just do whatever he needs to do. They're like, oh, because it's usually on the rare side. I'm like, awesome, I'm down, you know. And I remember having like next to us, like in the next table, were like 2 they're Asian, like 2 Asian tourists coming in, and they asked them the same thing, you know, like how would you like that cooked? And they said well done. They're like, oh, and then the guy goes, oh, but the chef usually likes to prepare it rare, but you know, we just want to ask you like what you're comfortable. I was like, yeah, we like it well done. Same dish as mine, and it came out, and she like had the hardest time cutting the thing and then eating it. I was like, look how this just melts in my mouth, this rare duck.
I was gonna say, would they like go in and how do you want the duck done? It's like, have you ever gone to Chinese restaurants and you've seen the ducks in the window? Can you do it like that?
Yeah, so it's just safe. I mean, like I guess if you're finicky with like how, you know, the meat is cooked and stuff, but I'm like, just however the chef wants to do it. Like, he knows better than I do.
Yeah.
I learned most places is medium rare. That's about as
Yeah.
the most cooked you should order if you want.
Yeah, no, these
liked.
two Asian women were adamant about the well done, and like you could see the waiter or the server be like, I assure you don't want that. They're like, no, that's what we want, and me and Heather just kind of like minding our own business, but we heard it, you know.
yeah.
Like,
That's
oh,
what
and then
you
it
want.
came, and I'm like, that looks pretty done.
They didn't do that with the baby goat. It's like, how do you want it? How well done do you want it?
No, they don't even ask. You just order it. They'd be like, okay.
Yeah, maybe goat it is.
It's like when they come and they show you like, this is the lobster we'll be preparing for you today. Come with the goat, and this is the goat though.
We did go to a restaurant where we sat down and there was a guy just like on the other side of the wall, just with like this little hand line, just fishing. I thought he was just there just to fish.
Yeah.
20 minutes later, when the waiter comes and asks us, what do you guys want to have? And I said, what's the catch of the day? That guy was like walking back, fish on the line still. The waiter goes and just hooks it,
awesome.
and he goes, this is it. And I went, give me that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As
cut
fresh
it
as
up.
it gets.
Yeah, cut it
Oh,
up.
it was good.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm getting
Gentlemen, you wouldn't believe this, but this is an ukulele podcast. So for all of those who are joining us for the very first time or listening to us for the very first time, the Ukulele on the Ground podcast, you can ask us questions and we'll try to answer them as best as we can. Kahai will get the questions via email, via live chat, anything like that. Relays the question over to me. I try to answer it the best I can. I'll give you my 2 cents. These guys will provide their 2 cents and will give you the best 8-cent answer that we can come up with. Right, gentlemen?
Sure.
So,
get
without further ado, let's get started. Kahai, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah. So, okay, I guess we'll just start with this topic. You just finished teaching kids course. Right?
Oh, yeah,
at your
yeah.
academy.
Okay, so this past weekend, the AG Ukulele Academy held its very first recital. Like, hey, so the all ages they played 8 songs. And we had a kids course, like a kids summer course that ran for 4 weeks. And it was twice a week, basically the same class, just so that that they can reinforce whatever they learned in that one class. So it's 4 weeks. They performed 2 instrumental songs that day, and I was very, very, very proud of all of the students, not just the kids, but also the all ages as well. Everyone did such an amazing job. It was such a fun time. The mall was full. We were just talking about how kind of empty the mall is at Kukui Grove nowadays.
Yeah, we were.
Not much foot traffic and stuff, but the mall is so fun. It's so fun.
I know this.
Yeah.
So I remember the week leading up to it, I'm like, hey Aaron, could I buy some stands for the school, just because I don't know if the kids have music stands that they can read their music. And Aaron's like, I don't even know if they need stands. I was like, just in case, because I don't know, I'm like a band student, you know what I mean? I just like my clutch, or crutch is my crutch to have a music stand, have my music in front of me. And then on that Thursday before the Saturday recital, I was like, how many of you guys know this by memory? And most of them raised their hand, except for these 2 boys. And I'm like, okay, I'll just set up a stand just for you two. And then the day of the concert, I go up to everyone you guys comfortable with all the songs, no music? They're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, how about you? And then I looked at the 2 boys and stuff, and they're like, no, we got it. And then I guess Aaron looked at the dad, is like, can they do it? He's like, yeah, I think they can do it. Yeah. They went up, did it. No music, all 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. 4 weeks of learning with us, and they performed those 2 instrumental songs. One of the kids, really, really talented. We had him play bass. We had to play my or Aaron's, what is it? Tiny boy bass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he played the
Yeah, and he got it. He got the groove.
He got it down, because it's a lot of
That's
upbeats in that.
awesome.
Dun 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 da 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 da. He got the groove. Really, really, really good. And then the kids knew when to come in, the. And then the.
Yeah.
So good.
They had it down.
So good. And I was so proud. I couldn't be any prouder of our kids. And then the all ages went up. We had some kids in there as well. And they did an awesome job. I think they were super nervous about going up and performing some of the songs, especially the adults. They kind of overthink things, speaking of music, they're like, I need my music, I need this, I need to whatever. I'm like, just relax, it'll be fine,
Yeah. But some of them had never performed ever before.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah. We have one. He's he works at the hospital and stuff.
Yeah,
He's
he's a
I
nurse.
never thought I'd be up on stage doing this. And he just joined us maybe a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And he played for the first time, and he's just dude, this was so much fun. So we're stoked. It was a good time. The place was full. They got to perform for for a full crowd. And I can't wait to get today. We start the next round. Look forward to the next recital, which should be in December. So we're looking forward to doing that. The kids' classes are going to start up again soon. But yeah, so I'm proud of everyone, but I think the kids need some special recognition only because we had 4 weeks to work together.
Yeah, that's
and it's not like they just learned those. We only worked on those 2 songs for 4
Yeah,
4
they
weeks.
learned how actually from the ground up how to play ukulele.
So my approach this time, my approach to ukulele is usually how everyone approaches the ukulele. You learn your C chord, A minor, F, whatever, But then we were thinking about it. We're like, oh, that's not when you were in band, what'd you play? Trombone. Mm-hmm. Okay, when you learn music, or did you take piano lessons? Did you take any kind of lessons like that?
No.
When you take piano lessons, they're not going to be okay, well, this is the C chord and this is the A minor chord or whatever. They're like, no, this is how you play Mary Had a Little Lamb or whatever, or C, 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 D, 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 C, 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 or whatever. So I approached it with that same, with that same way. And that kind of got them fast tracked into doing some picking, because it's especially for kids, for them to be holding, say, a G chord, G7, D minor, whatever, even if it's an easy chord for us, that's been playing for a long time. For a kid who's never touched an ukulele before, that's a challenge.
It's unusual.
Right.
Finger
But
sounds.
you can go.
Yeah.
and you're creating melody instead of just like
It's like
yeah. You know
Although
what I mean?
they did end up learning
they ended up
chords
learning
too.
chords. So
Yeah.
that was part of the plan.
Yeah.
But I wanted them to start making music with the ukulele already, rather than just like. And not everybody sings either. So you
Right.
usually when you learn chords, it's like, okay, now let's sing this song. But like, not everyone's like interested in singing. Some of the kids can and do sing, but that was another thing too. I'm just like, what is something that everybody can enjoy? Like we can just let the ukulele sing. Like I think as in the beginning too, you know, and they'll go home to their parents. I remember week 1 I was teaching and like and the kids play, and then I got word from the parents are like, my kid was playing that nonstop. As soon as they got in the car, they were playing that song. I was like, what?
we had to go back at.
Yeah, sorry.
That is so cool, you know. So
Sorry, parents.
it's just it's just that we're just. They're just like, that is a melody that I can play with my own hands. That is like, that's coming out of my ukulele rather than.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then what, right?
Yeah.
So,
and that makes sense because like
Yeah.
like a lot of the kids is like when they say music is like they'll start singing something rather than just
yeah.
chords, because
right. So, the approach was different. And I'm just gonna expand on it. Like I think and it's not as easy as that. So people are like, maybe I should copy that or whatever. But it's just like a lot more complicated. I'm like purposely omitting a lot of things out. But the approach seems to work a lot better. But it does have to be balanced because it's still an ukulele. You're still gonna want to like play chords and stuff to it. So you gotta like really like tightrope walk that balance of like melody versus like chords and stuff. But I think I'm onto something, and I think that could just be the approach in general, not just as an approach for kids and stuff. But I think that approach I'm gonna definitely like spend a lot of time on. I'm gonna invest some time in that and see like how that's gonna maybe even change like the way people approach the ukulele. So I'm stoked to how everything came out. And I think with the academy now, we can still have a class where you just learn chords and you play songs, but then if we're going to be a proper academy, there should be like specialty lessons for different things. And I think that allows me to be creative with how I approach the teaching of ukulele. So with the academy doing its thing, it just makes me level up as a teacher, and getting to work with people in person and seeing like how people react and respond to like what I'm teaching them was like a big deal, because I've been teaching online for so long that for me it's just like, okay, well, this makes sense, I'll just explain it like this. But then sometimes students are like, I don't know what he means, but I don't know, I guess I'll just keep following and stuff and whatever. But now I firsthand see like, and I have some vocal kids too. They're like, wait, what do you mean by that? And I'm just like, no one's ever asked me that. And you're like, just, play it like this. You're just like, you skipped me. You're like, okay, we'll there's one where like, let's learn how to tune, everybody. Okay, I'm gonna untune your ukulele, and then like, you're gonna tune it yourself. And then I'm like, okay, good, everyone. Now next up, he's like, you missed me, teacher. Like, I didn't get to do it like full on. I'm like, okay, cool. One, it shows that he wanted to do it. Yeah. Two, it's just like, thanks for holding me accountable. For
good.
things like that. Yeah.
Better than like not saying anything.
I'm so glad he skipped me.
anything.
Like, I was so scared to do it. Like, no, he wanted to do it. So that's just a testament of like how like eager those kids, like, how eager they were to learn the uke, and how they had fun. I had fun, and it was a good time. It was nice. Like, every Tuesday, it was like nice to look forward to working with them. Like every Monday, it's nice looking forward to like, hey, like how what am I gonna teach this week and whatever. It's nice, man. I love it so much. It's good. It's good. It came out good.
Did you have someone playing the cowbell?
No. Oh yeah, I guess so.
No.
I just thought about that.
For the next recital, all kids and Kyle playing the cowbell. Dude, only Kyle.
Kyle Farouche
bring
is a
my
special
own.
guest.
You have to wear the shirt too with the kids.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like on the side.
It's like, here comes Kyle. He's like, he's pulling the cow in. It's like, dude, you didn't have to bring the whole cow. Just take the bell off.
You don't understand.
I want it to be like
Authentic.
The next recital. It's like all the kids walking on stage without any music stand, and then Kyle comes with his one music stand for the cowbell. now.
Dude, I'm gonna have like 7 trampolines set up behind them so I can like the George Lopez show.
But yeah, it was a good time. So I'm looking forward to like what this evolves to, you know, like, and I want to start working with more like kids around the island, and I don't know, it's really nice, just kind of cool to see Kauai's kids like be interested in the ukulele again, because the ukulele in general, like on Kauai, I felt like, you know, has kind of dropped off to be honest with you, right? Like, do you see, you know, like the same interest as you
I
did
guess-
when you were growing up?
Yeah, now that you say it, like, cause I mean, I guess I'm not around the schools, but yeah, when we were kids, it's like everyone
Not
was.
since they banned you, right?
when- what was I gonna say? I'm sorry. Well, because now I'm thinking it's like, no, it's because I have to go into the principal's office to get a pass, and that gives me trauma. But yeah, no, it's like I don't see like, because I remember like after school, like I remember like all of my friends used to be carrying just ukuleles just after school around. At the mall again, which maybe it's like the mall's popularity is decreasing, and therefore the ukulele's popularity is decreasing because there's no place to.
I feel like it's even before that. But you know who I saw recently? Speaking of your high school years with ukulele, Bruce. Bruce moved back to Kauai.
I saw his brother Kale.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, dude, like how you?" I'm like, Bruce, like blast from the past, you know? And because I remember he used to be somebody that you would jam with a lot, like back in high school.
Yeah, we
you know?
would go to his place after school and just to hang out. And then I think I actually ended up giving him one of my ukuleles because I don't think they actually didn't have one, and so they're like, "Oh, can we borrow it? Can we borrow it?" I'm just like, and I think at that point I got another one. I'm just like, you can just have it. Like we're close enough friends. We're like, I'm okay with you having that.
So I've also noticed that like even if there is interest in the schools, you know, if there were kids playing the ukuleles, right? The songs that they would play are basically the same songs from like 30 years ago.
Yeah,
what I was gonna
that's
ask.
what I don't get.
Yeah. It's like there hasn't been anything new that would inspire these kids to want to pick it up in a modern way.
I was gonna ask, like, because I feel like for us growing up, we had Kyle Crater Boys and Pure Heart, right? Like those are, like you played Surf right now, and I remember going to school, and it's like everybody knew Surf, and you could at least strum to it, and if you're really good, you could pick this, pick the song. But now it's like, do kids have that, or do they have the
They
equivalent?
do.
To
It's
that?
called surf. It's still surf.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
it's
I get
still
like
that.
they don't really have like
Right.
it's not like as I guess it's not as popular in like the mainstream or
that's what needs to
the
happen, and
popular
that's
radio music.
That's kind of what we want to do. Like we want to make, you know, like ukulele like a front, like a frontman instrument again, like how it used to be. Like with Kyle Crater Boys, the ukulele was right up, you know, right up front. Like we had Troy and Ernie singing, but Troy's ukulele was like kind of at the forefront of that duo. And then you got, you know, Pure Heart, which like John's voice is the is the main voice of the trio, but Jake's ukulele was like definitely a whole nother voice on top of John's, you know. And then you got Opihi Pickers, like, and I feel like past that there really wasn't anything.
Yeah, like maybe like there'd be albums with like a song or two.
Yeah.
But it's not like where that was like a mainstay.
So
in the...
mainstream music, at least music in Hawaii, has moved away from like featuring the ukulele in it. I feel like, and it's not that there isn't ukulele music coming out of Hawaii, because and congrats to my girl, Brittany Paiva just won a hoku like this past weekend. Hey, congrats, BP! Congratulations. So there is ukulele music that is, that is coming
Mm-hmm.
out, but I just feel like it's not as, as influential as it was back in the day, or at least not as in front, or not used in the way that it used to be used.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, because like the groups you listed, I feel like they would get radio play. And then
Right.
like now you don't hear groups with like,
Yeah.
if anything, they're playing ukulele, but it's not like you can really pick them out.
It's not
or
radio
anything.
friendly. Like Jake would make songs. Like Jake is still making albums. He's coming out with an album with Mick Fleetwood. And he's doing like a blues album, And then like you got guys like Corey and Calais like coming out with stuff. Brittany is coming out with stuff. Andrew Miller. So there's uke players everywhere coming out with stuff. But I think it was like, if we're being influenced and if we're following footsteps, because Jake, moved away from Pure Heart, did kind of his own thing. And ukulele kind of went in that direction of like mostly solo ukulele players or ukulele centric songs that aren't necessarily radio friendly. And most of the youth here, that that's what they attach to. They want to listen to things that they hear on the radio or things that are popular and stuff, but no one's going to be putting up a Jake song on the radio or like a Corey and Clay song on the radio.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of stuff you kind of have to find by yourself. And also the radio isn't that innocent either. They're still playing Drop Baby Drop from 30 years ago. And apparently we're not as innocent either, because we're still playing Drop Baby Drop and that's it. So no new like ukulele centric music has come out, and I think that's one of our goals for the Academy, is to kind of bring that back to the mainstream.
Yeah, it's kind of like a culture shift, because I mean, like, it's, well, if no one's gonna listen to, like I don't know, like new, like if there's like a new band like Pure Heart or something,
Yeah.
like the Kauai Creator Boys, but if no one wants to listen to them,
Yeah,
then the radios won't
true.
play it.
It's
But
true.
then that means you're not hearing what the new
But just
music
like
is. It's like this whole
just like with anything entertainment wise, you know what I mean? Like Marvel is not gonna take a chance of at new superheroes, and when they did, they flops. So it's like, I guess we'll make Iron Man 17 or whatever, you know what I mean? Or Captain America 5 or whatever, and that's the ones that people will go to.
Yeah.
And Pixar had the same problem. Like Pixar was trying to introduce these new these new characters, new stories and whatever. No one went to watch them. Like, although, movies like Coco and Soul, they were really good, but nobody knew those characters. But you make a Toy Story 5, I bet you people will go in droves, just like with Inside Out 2, people came out because they're like, oh, these are characters we're familiar with.
Yeah,
and
there is a
stuff.
nostalgia factor that
Right.
has been probably one of the most marketable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're unfamiliar
Yeah.
with this.
Yeah,
or
and so
whatever,
if it's new, like if you have something new versus something you recognize, like the new one may be better, but you probably tend to go to the one you recognize. And feel
or even if
comfortable
they're
with.
both good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nostalgia is awesome, but then there's this new stuff that's coming out is also really good, but then you're kind of like,
It's not
this
as-
feels safe, It's not as,
There's an investment there.
Yeah.
For like Marvel and stuff, right? They're like targeting our generation already, where it's like, oh, the people who grew up with these comics, they're gonna be
Right.
the ones who watch it. But then it's already where it's like the kid, like parents bring their kids, and their kids are like, I don't want to watch this. This is lame. So it
Yeah.
feels like almost the same thing, where it's like, I wonder, it's like, oh man, Kyle Crater Boys is awesome, and they're like, what are you listening to, Dad? That lame-o music.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if the Kauai Creator Boys came up on like a high school senior prom, no one's gonna want that. Unfortunately.
So
Or actually, have you heard Bronson's new
Iohi?
Yeah.
is it ukulele centric?
No, but it is. Yeah. So Bronson Iwohi put out a new single. I think it's called "Good Time," but it's very old school Hawaii.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good,
the
good.
vibe of it is like Hawaii. So I was like, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this is it's like a banger, but
That's what needs to happen. There needs to be friendlier, ukulele friendlier kind of songs to jam.
And I think Hawaii still uses ukulele, so
Wow.
it's
I was gonna ask, can you explain that for people who don't know Hawaiian Kane? So
Hawaii Kane was popular here in Hawaii in the late 80s and throughout the 90s. They were one of the first to really take that reggae and
like-
make it like,
like
Hawaiian reggae. Yeah.
Jawaiian they call
Yeah.
it. Jawaiian reggae.
Yeah, so they were listening to like old school reggae, and they did a bunch of covers of reggae, like true reggae songs, but in like a local way, like using ukulele and playing it
And raps
yeah,
and stuff,
doing
you
it.
know,
yeah,
yeah.
it was basically like so Jamaican and Hawaiian, so they called it Jawaiian
Yeah.
reggae, and so they were one of the I guess like. Who else like Brother Walter was
Yeah,
like
a bunch.
early Jawaiian.
Yeah, and I mean even like Kyle Creator Boys is like it's a form of Jawaiian music.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, I like to
Kapena.
play the reggae, like that song. You
Yeah.
know, it's not reggae, but it's like Jawaiian reggae.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, Kapena. They were.
Yeah,
they
Kapena.
Were, yeah, Uncle
But then
Willie K
after a
was-
while, I think the word Jawaiian became dirty, and nobody
Yes.
wanted to be associated with like Jawaiian
Yeah.
reggae. And
Yeah.
because it became dirty, people started doing more like pure like Jamaican reggae
Yeah.
or
yeah,
either
or
pure Hawaiian
island
music or
island reggae.
Yeah.
it became
So and then like with the rise of like bands from California and bands from New Zealand, people like Catch a Fire and bands from California like J Boog and like and those guys and stuff. That became what was mainstream here.
Yeah.
And that had kind of like that R&B-ish, flavor. So like slowly we're losing ukulele more and more. And its current popular version is Maoli.
Yeah.
Which is like country
Yeah.
reggae. It's
Local
like
country.
local country reggae.
Yeah.
And that doesn't like really feature much ukulele in there either.
Yeah.
So it's losing.
yeah.
We're losing,
Although
like,
it could easily be
it can.
incorporated.
It can. But they don't.
So yeah.
They don't.
So I don't know.
Because
People,
I'm like,
yeah.
my chances of playing at the Waikiki Shell is going going lower and lower because it's like the people who play at the Shell are those bigger bands, but like less and less usage of ukulele, So
Yeah, it's kind of funny though that you brought up like Maui because it's like I feel like kids listen to that and then it's like the same thing we went through where it's like kids listening to it and being like, oh, this is a great song, and the parents are like, I know the original, and you play the original and it's like, you ruined it for me. But it's like taking...
But same thing with like Kyle Creator Boys, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah.
And I guess
Yeah.
it just happens every time where it's just like generational, where people don't know that it's like, this is actually an old song that we're
Yeah.
redoing for modern.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah, Brother Sam is in the chat.
Oh,
It's
nice.
like yeah, Auntie Lena was like Jawaiian slide, right?
Jawaiian slide. We still gotta do that video.
We gotta do that
We still gotta do
video.
that video. I am so down. I'm so down.
Yeah.
We gotta fly her down here or something.
Yeah.
We'll have a full band. We'll fly her down here. But yeah, it's. I feel like it's dying. Like ukulele, being like the front man of like a reggae band or any kind of like popular band here in Hawaii is kind of dying now. Last one I feel like was Imwo Garza of Opihi Pickers. And I guess in that sense,
Kolohe Kai.
Noah,
Yeah.
being the but. All credit to Noah and all his success and stuff, but that was still Imwo Garza like playing all those pickings, right? And then like that Noah would play.
Oh, I think yeah. And
And then they
Noah-
kind of
Noah
diverted
learned-
away from
Yeah.
ukulele after a while anyway. you
Or
know?
it's like,
Yeah.
even Echo Girl, right? It's like the main melody is played on saxophone too.
Yeah, it's like ukulele and sax,
Yeah.
like doubled up, And so it's we need to kind of bring it back. We need to, to get the interest back as far as ukulele goes, and because I feel like guys like Jake and Calais and Taimane and Brittany and all these like amazing players are definitely doing some crazy cool things that will fit in modern music today, but it's not as cool. Even ukulele players are switching over to guitar, and I think that's also another thing.
I think also, but it's like with Jake and Pure Heart and stuff, right? It's like the songs that they would play on the radio was the songs where they would have like singing on it, not just instrumentals.
Yeah.
And kind of introduce people to the idea of like Pure
That's
Heart
right,
with
that's right,
Jake
that's
and
right.
stuff too. So
Yeah.
You
So
get
yeah, it's my old man rants of like why it's not like so prominent as it was before.
our little inside office joke, right? Is how do I reach these kids? I just gotta reach these kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back, Carter.
Okay. Should we did a songwriting challenge?
Yes.
Should we pick the winner for it?
Yes. So we did a songwriting challenge. Basically, I have it right here. Write a song that is inspired by this book. Have you seen this book before?
No.
It is Riley's Time Travel Journey. It is exploring ukulele history, and it is written and illustrated by Susan Montgomery. So Susan Montgomery, she
Who
wrote this
is-
book. She drew this. She drew the pictures. We said, write a song that is inspired by the.
Oh, it's not on screen. You don't have to worry
Oh,
about
I see. I
this.
see. By the cover of this book. So either the words Riley's Time Travel Journey, or the word Riley, or time, or travel, or time travel, or journey, or bunnies, or blue ukes, or coconut trees, whatever, ukulele history, whatever it may be. Okay, so. And she drew some awesome stuff in here. So we're giving this book away. Okay, so you had to write a song that was inspired by this book. And what's cool about this book, in the back, Aloha Oe, she put a QR code where you can scan it, and it leads you to the Ukulele Underground play along video
that's
with
cool.
Kahea, Kaniho, and myself. Okay. So, and she cites ukuleleunderground.com on the bottom. So we want to support people who support us, which is really cool. Yeah,
That
thank
is-
you so
that's
much.
cool.
So
What is the PBS support? The people who
people like you, supported by people like
and
you.
Susan is in the chat.
Yeah, so we played our song. So we wrote songs last week that that is inspired by Riley's time travel journey. But we opened it up for for anyone to put their songs in, and for all the people who submitted songs, we put their names in a wheel. And it looks like this, the wheel of the
I was checking last minute.
There it
Any
is.
last minute entries?
Okay, so we had some entries, and basically you win a copy of this, a signed copy of this book, and I'm gonna get Kahea and Kaniho to sign this as well. I'll sign it, and on that page, so on the page citing Ukulele Underground, I'm gonna get I'm gonna
and
get them to
Susan
sign it.
signed it to the
And
author
Susan signed it
illustrator.
in the front, right there. So there.
Yep.
So Susan signed it right there. Yeah. And then Kahai was gonna sweeten the pot as well, right, Kahai?
Yeah.
With some
Got some
3x5
stickers.
photos of your headshots, right? 5x7s.
how
How big?
big
How big
that-
of a headshot were you gonna give them, Kahai?
I don't know how big the sticker is. Sticker and legal notice. Never to use a sticker.
Yeah, so thank you so much for all the people who submitted something. Who submitted stuff, Kahai? And why is it a bunny?
Because it's a bunny. And bunny
Riley's time travel journey.
Riley.
Yeah.
So we had submission by Brian, Tim, Abby, Chris and Sue, and Rosalie.
What are your thoughts on the submissions, Kahai?
Yeah, everybody did great and all pretty unique and all interesting because it's I believe Brian and Chris and Sue did instrumentals. Tim and Abby and Rosalie did songs with lyrics and stuff too. So yeah, and all interesting.
So yeah, we're gonna pick the winner by spinning this wheel, and whoever it lands on, that's who's gonna win the awesome prize pack. So go ahead, Kahai, spin that wheel. Oh, look at that bunny.
Brian.
Brian, hey, congratulations, Brian. Didn't Brian do a song last month also for the other song challenge? Yeah.
Yeah.
So congrats, Brian. So you get a signed copy of Riley's Time Travel Journey and some other cool Ukulele Underground goodies. All right? Hey.
I couldn't even read any of those. I gotta get my glasses checked.
Wait till you come for our Friday jam and we have 120 songs on the wheel.
Oh
And
my
it's,
God.
hard to read. Yeah.
Right? Hey, that's right. The last time you were here, I was not here. Right? You were doing
Oh,
it
yeah.
on Friday with them because there was like traffic. That was the day that the bridge went out, or was
Something
that
like
was
that,
the one?
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. I kind of remember. I don't know. I still apologize for that one, but yeah, we made it through. So
I was there. I was watching.
No,
Yeah.
people liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, people
had
liked
fun.
it.
Oh, that's a
No, I
relief.
think the bridge one was when Russ was here.
Yeah.
So why couldn't I make it that day that you were here?
I don't know.
Yeah, because I wasn't here. You were
Yeah.
here, right?
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
it was you let us know like the day before, and so I just like threw it out. I was like, "Hey Kyle, you might be busy, but if you're free on Friday tomorrow, can you come on down for the jam?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure,
forgot.
guys."
Yeah, I don't-
I forgot why.
Just
But
needed a
it's-
vacation, I guess, but
I apparently, yeah. Was
No,
it
I
was
think
it
it
like
was-
May Day? That's why, like maybe,
maybe
couldn't
I
make it or something.
maybe I know that it was.
No.
I feel like it was family related
Yeah, I can't even remember.
because there's
Might
not
have been
many
sick,
things
maybe.
you would.
I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's weird.
Either way, I'm glad I was here. I could help.
because even if I was sick, like I would join in from
Your
my
home.
place. Yeah. So that's unusual that I wouldn't be there. But anyway, do we have any questions, Kahai? Because this is a live show. We have a live audience and we have a live chat going on right now. Let's answer some questions.
Yeah,
Kahai.
this time we're live.
Yeah, I don't know if we do have questions. I'll check. Yeah, a lot of the people in chat are talking to each other too.
Okay.
Let's
so
just join in their conversation.
while we're waiting for questions to be asked, Kyle, who are some of the people that you know talking about like starting out with the ukulele and being inspired and stuff? Like who are some of the bands that you used to listen to that like that had ukulele?
You know,
and
it's
that,
so. I mean, the Cow Crater Boys. I think were at the time like they were the popular band. But actually, like
but at that point, Kyle Crater Boys was like way done already, right? Because we're talking like 2007, 8 when you were in high school.
Well, yeah, but I started when I was pretty young, and so like because my parents, I think they got me my first ukulele when I was like 6, because I think like my friends started taking classes, and so I wanted to be like them.
Oh, okay.
But I couldn't go to classes because I was doing like sports and stuff. So I did that.
Sorry, Mr.
But
Sport.
it was really just a way to manage the behavior issues that I had. So multiple coaches means multiple disciplinarians. But then I think like I would, I didn't even think at the time to like, oh, like this is an ukulele player, so I'm gonna try to play what they're playing. I would just try to play whatever I heard, and so like I would try to play like guitar stuff on the ukulele or like horn stuff, because that to my little 6-year-old head, like this was the only instrument I had.
yeah, to
So
play
to me,
musical
it's like okay, well, it's either an instrument or it's a voice.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to play. I think there was like Peter Moon. So like Peter Moon stuff. My mom was she is a big like Eric Clapton fan. So like whatever they were listening to, I would just because like I didn't have control over the radio because it wasn't my radio, it was my dad's radio. So whatever came on, I would just sit there and just kind of try to pick it out.
Yeah.
And then
Does your dad still? I'm not gonna say where, but does he still work at the same place?
yeah, he's
'cause-
he's looking to retire this year.
Because next time I see him, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, why didn't you let Kyle touch the radio? Kyle told me that you wouldn't let him touch the radio. Why?"
he did like do like mixtapes for me
Oh, yeah.
because I think of like how like he saw that I was really like
I see.
interested in it, and so actually one of like the I think he did a video like
Yeah.
it was Big Boy in Love, because I think at that time Bubba B was like he did like a version of like the Molokai slide,
Yeah.
and then
Why
so
not slide?
yeah, and so I mean like all my friends are listening to that, so I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna listen and try to learn this so I can
Yeah.
play it because I want it to be cool. I never learned how to sing it. I just learned how to play it.
Yeah, Bruce, let's play this together.
But yeah, so like it was stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think it wasn't until like right around high school I wanted to learn like like things that people were doing on the ukulele, not necessarily like songs but like techniques and stuff. And I think that's when Kat noticed that I was playing like your song.
No,
'Cause then I'll-
maybe my sister.
Yeah, because like I think like the first, I think, well, maybe the only video, I don't know, was Bandito Tyler, and I couldn't figure out the ring ding I didn't know that there was mutes.
Oh, so you come
did-
to the master.
But then,
Young grasshopper.
yeah,
Hey, Kyle,
Come to the
Kyle,
master.
I would have walked out if that's what happened. if he said that, I don't need to learn the song. Never mind. Thank you.
Okay.
well, but I think it's because like at the time, like all my friends that were playing ukulele or that I would play with, like kind of like what we were talking about, like they just got stuck on like the same 10 songs. But then like I wanted to learn, more. And so YouTube was
Yeah, that was early YouTube too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ukulele YouTube. It's like, who's this guy and his Bandito Tyler?
yeah, and I think it was I remember it was a video. It must have been like your apartment or something. on
Okay.
Oahu. Like it was like it was kind of dark because I don't think video cameras are what they are like today. And so like I couldn't see what you were doing. I could just
240p.
hear.
Yeah.
And so like I didn't know what was going on. So I'm just trying to play this by ear. But then that's how like so it was kind of like this thing where like I wanted to play with my friends and then eventually like they stopped wanting to learn. But then like I was still like really like I want to learn how to do this. And so
Yeah, Bruce, don't quit. No, we're picking up Bruce too much.
no, actually
just
Bruce,
saw the guy.
Bruce was one of the guys that like would want to learn. So if we would learn something, we would go teach each other.
That's right. I remember you both playing like body surfing for
Yeah,
me.
because I think we were the only ones like who bothered to learn like the solo part because everyone learned like the first part, the ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
But then like the solo part, like everyone just kind of they're like, we don't need to do that.
Yeah,
Next song.
Why should I learn the whole
I'm like,
The whole song.
Yeah, I'm like, why? Like, because like I was relying on my friends to teach me, and so like, oh, how did you do that? But then when like they stopped having things for because they taught me basically everything they knew, and then they stopped. I'm like, okay, well now I need to go figure this out for myself.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to do that, and so but everything was by ear because one, I couldn't read music for ukulele. I didn't know really what the notes
Gino
were
was a Gino.
because I learned on trombone.
Oh,
but
yeah,
that's
a bass clef.
I don't know
Yeah,
what
bass
treble
clef.
clef is.
Oh.
And then also, I don't think there was a lot of music for ukulele. But then also, like YouTube, like you couldn't really rely on like trying to watch and learn because
Not at that point.
9 out of the 10 videos were all like on somebody's like video phone, like flip phone,
Yeah.
Yeah.
a razor or whatever.
Filmed on potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we were just like talking about this last night where I like even though we were like more restricted with how to learn things, I think in a sense that also like kind of helped us make us better musicians, right? Because like you mentioned that it's like you didn't even think I gotta learn ukulele music, like music specifically for ukulele. It's just like I'm gonna just copy whatever I hear and try and like replicate it on my ukulele.
Yeah.
Trains your ear.
Man, don't get me started about like how easy like the stuff that we have today. I was watching this tiny little keyboard thing, and then you'd press one button, and it was like a major 7, 9, 13, or like one of those like beautiful sounding
my
chords with like a
gosh.
touch of a button. And it's like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna create my my chord progression. This one and this one, and then that
Hey.
one. Like,
Hey man,
I'm
don't
like,
call me
what
out.
the-
Don't.
I was like, whoa. What? It's just that easy, huh?
You just type in your prompt into the AI, and then that's how you make music.
Yeah,
right?
I know I sound like the old man yelling at the cloud and stuff, but that's how I feel. I'm like, what? Back in my day, we had to learn what that was, and I still don't know what some of those are.
Well, something I think what we were talking about last night is like that the kids like they're just like, no, we don't need sheet music, like we don't need it to play, right? And I think us growing up too, it's like Kyle said, we just like learn by looking at each other's hands. So it's like when it comes to sheet music, it's like I guess I could use it, but I don't really need it. I like have the song in my brain, like it's kind of even more of a hindrance to have to like look and reference a piece of sheet music too. So it seems
there's
like, yeah.
and especially for that, it's like if they've been practicing it like that, and then like if they weren't using the sheet music, necessarily, like it could become like a kind of like a distraction.
Yeah.
crutch.
Unless like if you
Yeah.
practice with the sheet music, then yes, use the sheet music because then
But you eventually want to play it without it, because it's not like you're looking at the sheet music while you're doing this, right? You're just it's just there to like, okay, where was I? Oh yeah, that's right. You know,
Unless
like,
you're playing in like
looking at
a like a KCC jazz band or something, then you might want to know what everyone else is doing. Where
Yeah.
How much
where your part
rest
is
do
in.
you have to
Yeah,
That's
take?
right. I wasn't looking at the music for me. I was looking at the music for them. You're not I'm not locked in here with you guys. You're locked in here with me. It's a Batman thing. Kyle. All right. Don't stop calling me out on that one. I needed to know when to come in. I don't want to make them sound bad.
but
even though
if
it's
they're all
my
playing
song.
the same thing, like if they all learn the same thing, like
Yeah.
you don't necessarily need the sheet music.
Yeah, I think it's just like also just a reminder, a good reminder from the kids is like that as adults, like we also don't need to be so boxed in that like I
true.
need to learn it this way.
Yeah,
I need to do
yeah.
it this way.
Yeah.
It helps,
But it makes
a
us feel
lot.
safe. It
If
makes us
you-
feel safe.
Yeah, if you can read music, it helps. It's just another tool to learn.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, but like it's sheet music isn't like the
And all be all.
it's like music is sound and you use your
Yeah.
ear. you know?
Yeah.
It's like
Good answer. Good answer. Survey says.
But yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Anyway,
even
I forget where I was going with that.
There's a quote by Bruce Lee, and I don't know the exact quote, but
You
he's
put water in the bottle.
no,
The bottle.
no, but
Oh, no, not that one.
He's more talking about like if you think about yourself in the context of the fight, it's like you're 1 second too late, you know. So it's not there's not me throwing a punch. It's just punch, you know.
Yeah.
There's just punch, and if you think of it like that, then that's how you can do things on time and like in the right context. And so in like this is similar to music, whereas like if you're not thinking about yourself playing the song, if you're just thinking about the song and how it's supposed to sound, then then you come in on time, then you play it with the same type of feeling that the song calls for. So yeah.
Water.
Be water. Kahai.
Or just punch.
Just punch.
Just press.
Be punch.
Yeah. just press.
So we have do we have any questions, Kahai? Because we have a brand new segment of
Surely
the show
the-
at Kyle.
The last things we've been talking about have raised some questions.
Yeah.
Surely. No.
So there's a new segment of the show called Answer in 5. Okay?
like 5 seconds.
No.
5 words.
5 words.
5.
So Kahai's gonna ask you questions from our audience, and you're gonna have to answer in 5.
Yeah, I was raised on the south side. I don't know if 5 words even exist.
You only know 5 words.
Oh, Kyle.
It's gonna be all in pidgin.
Oh, it's like a compound sentence
Yeah.
within one.
Oh, cuz.
Because in one word. Yeah, because.
You say it
Where
fast.
Okay.
Where
I was gonna say
Poke
when,
at.
when you said Kyle, it's like I was raised on the south side. It's like we know Kyle. We know.
Hey, I'm also from there. I'm also from the South.
we also know. You don't have to.
But I'm on the Kauai side of the south
I
side.
know. I was just talking about this where like what was it like Helen to Kauai? I was like, hey, everybody else got a shout out except for the South Side. You're talking about Hanalei, you're talking about Waimea, talking about Wailua. And like, hey, where's the South Side in that song? Okay, go ahead. So, Kyle,
All right.
hashtag answer in 5.
Okay. I gotta press it on this one. But I'll read it out. Loomer 80 said, "What recommendations do you have if I wanted to refine my ukulele playing, and any tips in getting better in my scales?"
How do you get better at the ukulele and any tips on scales? Answer in 5.
That's 4. Wait. What was the question? Oh my! It was so long.
That's why when Aldrine started pointing this out, I was like cracking up because I was like, "This is the question I'm gonna ask."
Y'all don't ask like yes or
There
no
it is, there it is,
questions.
there it
I can
is.
do that.
What recommendations do you have if I wanted to refine my ukulele playing, and any tips in getting better in my scales?
There you go.
Aldrine, do you want to
Oh.
come up with one too?
Sure.
Keep it in your pocket. And then,
Okay.
Or like if you have it ready. no.
Oh, this is hard, man.
Mike to play this game, and he had answers
Somehow,
right
yeah.
there. You know.
Yeah.
He would answer it in like 3 too sometimes, and then he would have to use like seriously very or something. Right? To fill it over.
Yeah, I had a 4 answer quick.
If you can do it,
you can do less than 5.
Less than 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 or less. I guess.
Yeah, because the first thing was, again, always use your ears.
Oh,
Always.
okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
Good answer.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Good answer.
What about you, Aldrine?
Have a good, consistent regimen.
Okay.
Or you can do have a consistent practice regimen.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So we can explain. So we answered in 5, but you can explain your answer a little bit. Give me 3 sentences to explain your answer. To kind of,
So I guess it comes down to like things that I was taught. It's not just things that I learned, but people have told me, like that whole music is sound, right? So you use your ears. Could also kind of be like people say like, oh, I don't have a good ear for music, but like if you go to a concert and someone plays like a wrong note, like you can kind of pick that up, And so like it's kind of like listening to yourself as you play and like kind of having an idea of what it should sound like, and then that way like you can kind of be like your own metric in a sense of like, okay, well, this is what it sounds like. If it sounds right, it's probably right.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm coming from as well. But like
As
practice,
far as like
your practice regimen, right? It should be consistent. I mean, if you're gonna practice scales and stuff like that, like you need to work at it consistently. You can't just be like, oh, well, I practice my C scale, and then I practice my G scale, and then I practice my F scale, and then I practice my E scale, and whatever. Like, just pick one. Pick one. Get good at that.
Yeah.
You do it consistently, okay? Be consistent with one, and then move on to the next one. So that's where a lot of people get it messed up. They're like, okay, Aldrine told me to practice scales for like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? Like
And
it
then
just
nothing sticks.
Then nothing sticks. You have to have a good training regimen. Another answer that I was gonna give is remember, perfect practice makes perfect. And it's not just practice doesn't make perfect. You can practice that and like learn nothing. You can practice for an hour, learn nothing. But like perfect practice makes perfect, as in practicing the right things.
Yes.
And do it consistently. What was the thing you remembered?
So to make it a nice round 5 words was
Yeah.
to kind of be clever, I guess, after I heard myself, always listen to your ears. That's kind of what I think would be a better interpretation, because like even if you practice a G scale, but then if you throw it in a song that doesn't have like an F sharp, like if you're in the key of C, like you may practice the G scale, but then if you come to like a G chord and you figure, oh, I can just play the G scale, but it doesn't sound right. It's like, don't just be like, oh, but that's G.
But
then,
force
like-
it, like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because that's the what.
But then if your ear is telling you like, oh, well, that maybe you didn't mean to do that. Like you could still do it. It's not a wrong thing. But like if that's not what you meant to do, then listen to what your ear is telling you.
Yeah.
Of like, maybe I could have done something different.
Yeah, I was telling Aaron that, and they're actually talking about him in the chat. But this like freestyle rapper, Harry Mack, he was talking about how he does freestyle, and he says like he purposely practices things that he's bad at.
Yeah.
And the difference between practice and playing is like practicing is like you're trying to get better at something you're bad at. So you have to sound like you're gonna sound bad while you're practicing.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the thing is like a lot of people will practice and then they sound good and then they just keep practicing like, oh, C scale. I can do C scale all day long. But it's like, that's not challenging you or that's not hard for you. So that's, at that point, it's not practice.
not really
Yeah.
practice.
And I think what Aaron was saying about like that Bruce Lee quote is like when you practice is like you're trying to get something ingrained into you. Because when it comes time to play, like chances are like you won't have time to think about like, okay, up, down,
react.
up, down.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, you've already practiced this, so it should just come like that. You think about, oh, this song, I got that under my hands.
Yeah.
Is that other Bruce Lee quote of like, I'm not scared of the man who knows 1,000 punches.
Yeah.
But I'm
the
scared of the man who does the one
perfected
punch,
yeah.
1,000 times or something
Yeah.
like that. Something like that. That is perfect practice
Yeah.
rather than
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
practice makes perfect.
Practicing it perfectly.
So that was the practice round. Now we will answer things in 5, no explanations as fast as you
No
can.
explanations?
Lightning
Okay.
round.
Yeah,
Here we
yeah.
go. Kahai, give us some
Lightning
questions.
round. Oh man.
Answer in 5.
My daughter Michaela has a non-ukulele question. She's a chef. What's your favorite Filipino food and why? Answer in 5.
Anything that comes from Aldrine.
Good answer.
Good answer. Good answer. Okay, next. Now,
Wait, is this me?
Yeah. Well, it's like, what about you?
all things fried is delicious.
I agree.
Are delicious. All things fried are delicious.
It doesn't matter. 5 words. Doesn't have to be
Yeah.
grammatically correct.
Or follow the Filipinos to restaurants. There.
Yep.
Next.
This was earlier in the thing, but we can circle back because
Yeah.
they were talking about. I think they were talking about like Hawaiian music and ukulele music and getting that back on board, right?
Okay.
So, Uking Lady said, "How would you consider Tongi's contribution?"
Answer in 5, Kyle. How would you consider Tongi's contribution? I got
Math.
mine.
I guess maybe like just my opinion is like bringing Hawaii into the spotlight.
For me, it was introducing Jawaiian to new audience, which is the same. That's his contribution. Next.
Okay. Well, I think that's all, like pretty much all the questions that we got. Yeah.
Yeah, I got one for you, Kyle.
Oh no.
What is your opinion of the Paris Olympics? Answer in 5.
I like that Kyle came down to give
Considering
us.
that he was just there.
He was just there.
Yeah, in Paris.
Kyle came down just to give us stuff, and then we sprung this podcast on him, and
Like,
then
hey,
we
do you want
made
to work
him-
right now?
I know, I forgot there was a podcast and I came. I just
Oh yeah, and then
He's supposed to drop off gifts from Europe.
here's a challenge too for you.
my opinion on the
5, or
Yeah,
just the
Olympics.
Paris Olympics in 5 words.
Turkish man, definitely a hitman.
Definitely hitman. Turkish man, definitely a hit. Oh yeah, I guess so.
Man is one.
Unless hitman's 2 words,
Ah,
then I'll go
going
caveman,
with
yeah.
the memes answer.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what are you talking about? Not okay. Okay.
Dude, that guy was so. Yeah, he's amazing. I thought I was looking at like a photo until he blinked.
Yo, he did
Like,
the
oh my
thing with the one hand thing. You
Yeah.
know, like just as if like he was playing a video game.
With
But then there was a girl who did look like she was playing a video game. Dude, she was bad. Yeah,
She was
bad.
good. She was the
Good.
Michael Jackson bad.
Trying to
Okay.
avoid those words.
We are a family-friendly podcast.
Yes.
Except for when Sammy Turton is on.
Yeah, can't win them all.
Yeah, I can't win. You know what I mean? We're not gonna, you know, get our guests to not be who they are. Okay.
We already won the podcast award.
Yeah, exactly.
What are they gonna do? Take it back?
Oh, even that is risque. that impression is risque. Some people might say it sounds like,
nondescript.
you know.
Yep.
Kahai, answer in 5.
About the Paris Olympics?
No. I'm gonna give you a new one.
Oh.
Archery in the Paris Olympics. Go. Answer in 5.
Oh my gosh. I gotta, man. I know we just said that we're family friendly, But I gotta go use the bathroom. I've been holding it in since the start of the podcast.
We will see you guys next time. We'll see you on Friday for Aloha Friday Live Jam. Please check out shop.ukuleleontheground.com. Buy a shirt. Help us out. Keep the lights on. Thank you. Aloha. Also, thank you, Kyle, for joining us. Mahalo. Love
Yep.
you. Bye.
Okay, bye.